What up, world? Welcome to a new episode of the Brandon Janeau Show. As you already know, I am Brandon Janeau, and like always, man, podcast platforms, man. All audio podcast platforms, man. You can type in Brandon Janeau Show. Some of them you might have to space, but mostly you keep it together, Brandon Janeau Show. Um, on all podcast platforms everywhere. YouTube channel, Brandon Janeau Show. Um, Social media platforms is BrandonJaneauShow. Uh, so yeah, follow that. You already know after a WWE live, premium live event, I should say it like that. I do the rate and review show right after it, and that's just what happened. So welcome to Wrestling Life, WWE Backlash rate and review show. So if you guys enjoy this, let's get into it. Okay, so I didn't really have that many high expectations coming into this premium live event. I really didn't. A lot of these matches felt like they were just thrown together. Um, and also not a lot of build up. It was kind of like on some just put them in the ring and see what happens. And that's kind of how I looked at this shit. So I really didn't have like a high level of like the matches I thought would be good was good. The matches I thought was kind of like I don't see how this shit gonna really work. Ended up being I didn't see how that shit really worked. So yeah. So if you don't know how I do the rate review show, I rate it from a scale of 1 star to 5 stars. And if I have more than 5 star matches, a couple of 5 star matches, I will go from my least favorite 5 star match to I thought was the match of the night. So yeah, so I got one, two, three. Eh, yeah, I say three 5 star matches. One very close, but didn't. I just didn't feel like it landed the right way for me. Well, it could have been, but I just didn't. Nah. Um, but throughout this pay per view was kind of like a lot of, I don't know. But yeah. So so like I said, I rate it from 1 star to 5 stars, and if it's a couple of matches with 5 stars, I'll pick my least favorite. Talk about that. Then I talk about the other one. Then the next, which will lead to the match of the night to me, which I thought was the best match of the whole damn event. So like I said, I got three of those. So of course you know three of those matches. So I already know which my least favorite 5 star match. Well, no, I don't. No, I don't, because all of them were different. One was really actually a really good fucking match from the start to the end. Um, one was a really good story, played into a storyline that they're trying to tell, and the other one was just I really fucking liked the match. Like, I thought it was a really cool match, but I also thought it would be a good fucking match. Um, so yeah. So when it comes to the end of that, I will explain which match is why I picked it to be the match of the night. But until then, let's get into it. My least favorite match of the WWE Backlash was Rhea Ripley versus Selena Vega for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I gave it a 2.5 stars. I didn't expect this match to be really that long or that intriguing. I thought Rhea would dominate Selena for most of the match, which she did. I thought she would let Selena kind of play into the crowd because she's from there, which she did. Uh, but it didn't last long and it didn't have any effect. I thought this was one of those thrown together match. I can't say it was a thrown together match because the LWO and the Judgment Day have been going back and forth, but Selena Vega and Rhea haven't really had that many conflicts on screen up until maybe a couple weeks ago. And so I get why they gave it to her. Gave her this match. She's at home. Selena Vega is gonna be at home. Is representing Latino World Order, so it made sense. I just felt like she hadn't had a lot of matches up until this point, and when she did start to have matches, it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So you didn't really build her into like a Sami Zayn. I'm not saying you had to have a 9 month fucking program with her, but she should have been in a couple of these matches before then. I see a lot of people saying maybe she should be now Mrs. Money in the Bank. I think you took one match in one moment and think now that's how she's supposed to be presented. I don't think that. I think she had a really good run. She was Queen of the Ring a couple of years ago, what, a year ago, and they still fucked that up somehow. Well, that was in Vince's world, but yeah, I don't know if she should win Money in the Bank because who the fuck she beating, Bianca or Rhea? Like I don't see her beating either of those women like that. I think she still needs to be built up a little bit more to become, a champion. That's just my opinion. I just feel like they don't really use her in wrestling terms. She's never been a wrestler. Even when she was in NXT, she wasn't really wrestling like that. When she was the manager of Andrade, she wasn't even wrestling then like that. So ever since she's been on the main roster, they kind of have protected her a little bit. So I don't know. Maybe if she has a longer run, I would say if she have a longer run with it, maybe then I would say yeah, give her a chance to win the title. But yeah, she gotta have more matches for me to be like, yeah, she deserves it. Like I don't see it. Like I didn't see it in NXT. I didn't see it now. Like I saw a lot of people being like, give it a Money in the Bank crown. Like nah, she doesn't deserve Money in the Bank. I think y'all are living into the moment and y'all letting the moment kind of surpass what the fuck is really happening. And that is, she was just she's gonna be at home. It made sense. The Latino LWO and the Judgment Day have been going at each other. Why not just give it a match? Like I said, if you actually watch the match, it wasn't really that. It wasn't really that. Sorry, by the way, about that. If my voice is starting to get destroyed, my damn thing has been going off. But yeah, the match I didn't expect the match to be great, and I didn't expect the match to go long. I expected Rhea to kind of come out there, dominate, let her have some offense, let her play into the crowd, and then she beats her. Exactly what the fuck happened. So yeah, I didn't see this match being like that. I didn't see this match being one of those matches that was gonna be a drag out match. It was kind of like, like nah. So yeah, it was my least favorite match because I expected it to be what it became. It wasn't really that intriguing. So yeah. Um, so my other match. So I got two matches on here that I gave 3.5 stars. So just like I do with the five, I'm doing it for the 3.5 star matches. My least favorite 3.5 star match. Um, Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley versus Bronson Reed triple threat match for the U.S. Championship. This dude is not over. Austin Theory is not over, man. And you can hear it. You got some people supporting him, but for the most part, man, it's quiet when he comes out, bro. Like it's quiet, man. It's like fucking silent, dead fucking silence when he comes out. And when you have to be the U.S. champion and you're trying to be the guy and you just don't fucking match it, it's starting to get really bad. He's going to SmackDown. I said this when I did the draft show just a couple of days ago that maybe he drops the title on SmackDown because I just don't see him keeping the title for very long, man. And I think to be honest with you, I would have let Bronson Reed win the title tonight and swapped Austin Theory and Bronson Reed, put Austin Theory back on Raw and put Bronson Reed on fucking SmackDown. I would have completely swapped them. I said this when I did the draft show just a couple of days ago. Bronson Reed, SmackDown doesn't have a lot of mid card guys anymore. That was the beauty of a SmackDown. They always had some mid card. Austin Theory going to SmackDown. You doing like the Miz stick, which he's kind of going to SmackDown, kind of doing now because what the Aust he's got what all ATL, which is like Austin Theory Live. He's like doing his own show and shit now. So going to SmackDown would make sense because you could kind of do that with SmackDown. But here's the problem with that: him doing it for 3 hours. The Miz could do the Miz TV, and he could do that for three. Like you got 3 hours on Raw. I don't want to see Austin Theory doing a fucking A-Town live, Austin Theory live on fucking SmackDown and take up 20 fucking minutes, like 15 fucking minutes. SmackDowns are actually still. This is kind of funny, man. When I was a kid, SmackDown was a wrestling show, and now that I'm older, SmackDown is a wrestling show. Raw is the entertainment show. For him to now be on SmackDown, it makes no fucking sense. Outside of him having a U.S. championship, it's kind of like The Miz going to SmackDown. Him going to SmackDown was Miz going to SmackDown. Only you literally heard Daniel Bryan say the only reason why I'm picking The Miz is because y'all just took the U.S. champion. I had to take The Miz and put him on SmackDown because he's the only mid card champion left. It kind of feels like that with SmackDown with Austin Theory. It's like they took Gunther to Raw. You have no other alternative but to have now Austin Theory on SmackDown, and I just don't see. I don't see Austin Theory being good on SmackDown. I just don't. I don't think he fits it. Like for what he does, he's an entertainer. I said this shit on my last episode. I said this shit actually the episode that's coming out tonight. I said Austin Theory is a fucking entertainer. Him going to SmackDown is going to kind of fuck that up. I don't think he's gonna fit well on SmackDown. I just don't. Plus, there's not that many mid card guys he can work with now. Who's he gonna work with? Karrion Cross? Maybe. But I don't know if they're willing to pull a trigger on Karrion Cross winning the title because he's been in a. And maybe this is where I think Triple H kept saying this is gonna be a restart. This is a thing for WWE because now a lot of guys can kind of get back into a better rhythm with the new crop of talent coming to the show. But who does Austin Theory fight on SmackDown? That's what I'm saying. Like Bobby Lashley, but I think Bobby Lashley deserves a title push at Roman or something. Sheamus, Sheamus deserves a title push. If he's not gonna get the title from Gunther, you might as well have him fight Roman. AJ Styles should be in the title push for Roman. Like there's too many people that could be in the conversation. Edge should not be in no goddamn U.S. Championship match. Like it's ridiculous. So I don't see how that fits. All in all, the match, man, Bronson Reed did what Bronson Reed does. Bobby Lashley did what Bobby Lashley does. Austin Theory did what Austin Theory does. I mean, it was literally subtract Seth Rollins and put Bronson Reed in. It was literally the same match from Survivor Series. The only difference is that Austin Theory didn't really do shit in this match. Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley pretty much beat the shit out of each other, and Austin Theory just picked the fucking bones at the end. Like it wasn't anything he did really to like push himself and make himself into a better. This is what I keep saying. His match after WrestleMania when he beat John Cena, he didn't really do shit. He had to cheat to beat John Cena. This match again didn't really help him in the senses of like building him to be something special going forward. And I know a lot of people think I'm hating on this kid. I'm not hating on this dude. It's just at the end of the day, dude, like I don't see why they keep pushing him. This is not a guy that everybody's like super gun ho about. Like you got a couple people that fuck with him, and I'm gonna get to the next person because the next match is the same situation. It's kind of like, but that's one man also pushing this dude. Whereas for Austin Theory, I do believe Triple H do think he can be the future. The problem is he's not getting over, and he isn't getting over. If you actually listen to the crowd was rooting more for Bobby Lashley. The crowd liked Bronson Reed a little bit more. It didn't make sense that I don't I'm just and then again like the way he won he like and that's a heel thing. You're gonna let somebody else do the dirty work and then you pick the bones. But the problem with that is he didn't do shit the whole match, and it's kind of like this is kind of the problem that I'm having. Like, what the fuck was he in this match for other than just him being a champion? And that's kind of it. He didn't really do shit. This match would have worked better if Bronson Reed was the champ and Bobby Lashley was coming in as a challenger. Or Bobby Lashley was the champ and Bronson Reed came in as a challenger. It didn't need Austin Theory. Is what I'm trying to say. It didn't need him. It didn't fucking need him. My other match that was a 3.5 star. Isn't my favorite 3.5 star match, but the goat's in it, so I was like cool with it. Seth Rollins versus Omos. I gave this 3.5 stars. Listen, I was on TikTok just a moment ago, just looking at some shit, and I was looking at somebody that do Twitch, I think, and because this shit pop up on my feed, because I like a couple of his videos and stuff. And in the caption, he was like, Seth Rollins versus Omos was amazing. No, the fuck it wasn't. What the fuck was you watching? That shit was boring as fuck. It was a drag along. It was literally the carbon copy of every Omos match. It was literally the same shit. Like you go look at Bobby Lashley and Omos at WrestleMania 38. You go listen shit. You can look at Bobby Omos and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 39. This was the same shit. He was just Seth Rollins is just smaller. This was the same fucking match. Like Omos throws Seth Rollins around and then Seth somehow some way finds a way to beat him. It was bullshit. It was a terrible fucking match. Exactly what I fucking thought it would be. It was fucking terrible. Um, yeah, I didn't like this match at all, to be honest with you. Um, I know a lot of people gonna be like, "Why you gave it 3.5 stars?" Seth Rollins. That's it. That's the real reason. Um, Seth can't make this dude a star. Nothing about it. Nobody can. I'm sorry. Like the match was boring as fuck. Like everybody's like, "Oh man, Omos kicked that off at 1." He did the same shit to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. He did the same shit to Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. This is every Omos match when he fights somebody that actually is better than the fucking people they keep giving him. Like some fucking jobbers that he can easily just toss the fuck around, slam, and then get the fuck out the ring. Like the difference between the Omos build and the Braun Strowman build when Braun Strowman first came into the WWE, when he left the Wyatt family and became his own entity, is that Braun Strowman you actually felt like he was a fucking destroyer. You actually felt like he couldn't go in the ring. You actually felt like he was the man. He was the monster among men. You felt that way. Omos, you do not feel that way. You don't feel that way. You just don't. I'm tired of people trying to act like he could grow into something. No, the fuck he can't. The man could barely fucking move in a ring. Are we fucking kidding ourselves? Stop this shit. I don't know why. Well, yes, I do. I do know why. Vince McMahon loves Omos. Why I don't? Well, yes, I do again. This is the same man that thought Giant Gonzalez was a good fucking champion, a good guy to fight fucking Undertaker. Like he's always been this guy. He loves these fucking tall ass, big ass fucking dudes that can't wipe their ass good. Like I don't know what the fuck it is. Like you gotta stop this shit. Like I don't get it. Like and here's the fucking problem. And here's where people are gonna have to understand something. You realize Omos is a free agent, right? In WWE. I didn't talk about this on the draft show, but he is a free agent in the WWE, which means he can go to any brand he feels like it. You do know that Roman Reigns is going to fight Omos at Night of Champions. You do know that, right? As a wrestling fan, you do know that, right? Roman's going to fight Omos at Night of Champions because they don't want somebody to beat Roman that can actually physically beat fucking Roman. They don't want that. So they're gonna give him a fuck, and also it will help Roman get over with the crowd because nobody wants to see Omos as fucking champion. So all in all, Seth did his thing. people, Seth better win the World Heavyweight Championship, man. I'm tired of can he carry the ball? Yes, the fuck he can. Seth is the guy. This is a man that he changes his gimmick and he turns it into something. He went from being supposed to be a heel to literally the biggest face right now in the company. I didn't like the fact that they are now building Roman and Seth because it feels like if Seth wins the World Heavyweight Championship, what the fuck you building Roman and Seth for outside of Survivor Series? Like, there's no reason for them two to even have a conversation until Survivor Series if you're gonna go back to champion versus champion. Which again, the brand split, but the brand split is so fucking funny right now. You don't know who the fuck is actually the guys that's gonna be on these who's gonna be on these shows. All in all, man, I give it a 3.5 star match because it's set. That's it. It's not. I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't think the Omos. I don't think Omos did anything in this match that made me feel like, oh yeah, that was different. He does the same shit over and over again. There's nothing different about the Omos matches. You think I'm just lying? You think I'm just playing? You think I'm like just don't like Omos? No, it's just you're pushing a guy that doesn't deserve to be pushed. it doesn't make sense to keep pushing him when you got a guy like Bronson Reed that could actually go in the fucking ring that doesn't get any shots, and that's fucked up. Or a guy like a Johnny Gargano, or a guy like a Tommaso Ciampa when he's there. You're not pushing guys like that, but you want to push this fucking dude that can barely fucking move, and I'm supposed to act like that's a good thing? Fuck no, man. No, no, I don't. No. All right. So like I said, I have one, two, three. Oh shit, I forgot. Before I get to the 5-star matches, I have a 4.5-star match, and that was the main event of Backlash: Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. I said 4.5 stars. I didn't know who was gonna win. I feel like if it was gonna be a squash match, they would have had it earlier and got the shock out of it. I think Brock went to Cody and said, "I gotta bleed," because that's the only way it will look convincing for you to beat me. Um, the ending was better than what I expected. I didn't think Cody would beat him with the crossroads because that would be kind of like a really decisive win. But I also didn't want Brock to beat Cody because it didn't make any sense for Brock to beat Cody. What the fuck was the point of him beating Cody? Um, and everybody could continue to scream, he needs adversity, he needs adversity. What I don't want is Cody to fall into this John Cena shit. I think John, for Austin Theory and Cody Rhodes and for people like that, I don't want people to be the next John Cena. You can never be the next John Cena. And that's for life. If there's somebody in this situation that did great, great, cheer for them, have them. But I don't want to be the next them. I can never be them. And I feel like WWE is trying to push Cody as the next John Cena. And that shit is not good for Cody. I hope Cody tells them, like, yo, I'm not John Cena. Who the fuck told you I was John Cena? I hope he is actually expressing that shit because he can't be John Cena. He won't be John Cena. Is he better than John Cena in the ring? A thousand times better. But him trying to take on this goody two shoes, that shit's a disaster. Don't do that. All in all, man, the match was decent. They both got their offense in. Cody Rhodes kind of beat the hell out of Brock at the beginning, which kind of made sense because get back for what he did to him at the WrestleMania, the night after WrestleMania. Um, yeah, I thought this match was what I expected. I didn't expect Brock to win, but I also didn't expect Cody to get squashed. I thought it would be a pretty back and forth match. Did it need to have the blood? Yeah, I think it did. I think Cody Rhodes needed to cut Brock Lesnar. I think Brock needed to bleed because, like I said, it wouldn't have looked believable. The problem with this match, and it's still going to probably be a problem for a lot of people, is why the fuck did Brock even attack him? Like now, it's kind of like it doesn't make any sense. It now makes no sense to have a Brock Cody 2. I don't think that would even make any sense. But I do, and now it's kind of like again, like it doesn't make any sense to have a conversation about why he even attacked him because Cody beat him. You kind of now say why Brock felt like he needed to go at Cody, but what's the fucking point? What's the point now? It doesn't make any sense. So Cody wins. Cody beats him by escaping the Kimura lock. Well, he really didn't escape it. He just pinned his shoulders to the mat. 1, 2, 3. Kind of like a Kurt Angle Undertaker at No Way Out, where you know Undertaker had Kurt Angle in a Hell's Gate, and Kurt Angle just flipped over and just pinned Undertaker's shoulders to the mat. It kind of felt like the same way where Cody was just he never really was fully in a Kimura lock, which is another thing people need to see. Like he wasn't fully in it. He was like up a little bit where you knew he was gonna probably have to like move and try to put his body weight on Brock, which kind of happened. And yeah. So quick pin and it Cody won. Um, yeah, thought the match was what I expected. I didn't expect Brock to squash him, but I also didn't expect Cody just to beat Brock cleanly. That shit just I just didn't see that shit happening. So yeah. Um, now let's get into it. The 5-star matches. Um, My least favorite 5 star match. I'm not saying it's not a great match, but it's a really good match. But more so off of the story being told, and that is Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Bloodline. Um, yeah. Um, that's not really that much Kevin Owens, Matt Riddle, and Sami Zayn did in this match that made me feel like this match was great. It was more so because of what the Bloodline situation is. And I've said this numerous times. I said this after WrestleMania. I'm gonna say it now. I said it last time I did Wrestling Life. I've been saying it the whole Wrestling Life. Solo clearly was going to be the new right hand man after the Usos lost, and Roman didn't. It was kind of fucking obvious. What I felt is how the fuck are they gonna progress this story without Roman being there? Tonight was a very important part of that. Jay is starting to realize Solo's gonna turn on him. Solo's the right hand man now. Jay's starting to realize it. Jimmy is oblivious. Jimmy has no fucking clue. Jimmy is like just like I'm still doing this for the family. But Jay knows what that feeling's like when you become the right hand man to Roman because he had to become the right hand man to Roman. And he's starting to realize that's what Solo is becoming. And tonight was a very important night of it. The match all in all was really good. Like I said, Kevin Owens and Sammy, they weren't gonna lose. They were not gonna be the ones that got that shoulders pinned. That's why they had Matt Riddle in this match. By the way, this is the second straight year where Matt Riddle lost that Backlash to the Bloodline. I just want to point that out in a 6 man tag match. I'm just saying it's a little fucked up. He's the one that gets his shoulders pinned. Last year was him, Randy, and Drew McIntyre versus the Bloodline. Roman speared his ass out of nowhere and won. And now Solo fucking spiked him and took the win. That was fucked up. But I like the fact that Friday night's gonna be interesting. Roman's back. We're gonna see how this all looks. But I think Solo is 100% in Roman's court. I don't think he's thinking about not betraying his brothers at one bit. I don't think that has even crossed his fucking mind. I really don't. Um, I feel like the match was okay, man. It was a really good match, but it was just Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn really was just there to progress the Bloodline storyline. That's all the fuck they were there to do. Um, I hope this dies. I hope now that the Bloodline is on SmackDown and Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn are on Raw, there's nothing else to be said about this situation. Maybe the tag team titles, but I have my own theory about the tag team titles, and that is that they're gonna be new tag team titles that go to SmackDown, and one's gonna go to Raw. And I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are gonna choose which titles they want to take to Raw. Because them being undisputed champions, but they could still go to both shows. What the fuck was the point of a brand split if both fucking time? What the fuck is the brand split for? It makes no sense to have a brand split if you still have undisputed champions. No sense. They could go to both fucking shows. What's the point of it? What's the fucking point of it? I don't understand it. Yeah, but all in all, it was a really cool match. My second favorite match of the night, that could have been in there if the other match wasn't what I also expected. Was the opener of Backlash, and that's Bianca Belair versus Io Sky. I gave it a 5 stars for the WWE Women's Raw Women's Championship. I thought this was 5 stars. The way the crowd flipped on Bianca was fucking crazy. You could see her face like, what the holy shit? Okay, all right, that's different. Yeah, you saw it like in her face, like she's like, what the? Okay, that's different. It was a great. This was the that. By the way, that was the only match that fully went. That wasn't both. Like wasn't a split crowd because you heard it throughout the night. Other than the Rhea's Selena, but that was supposed to be all Selena. Yeah, like most of these matches, the people that were supposed to get cheered got cheered, and the people that were supposed to get booed got booed. But Bianca was getting massively booed, and that was something that was like, what the fuck? Like at the beginning, it was cool, but as soon as the match started, they flipped. They went EO Sky, and it was just like, what the fuck? And I don't know if they were just doing that just to see, but it was that was interesting. But oh no, I thought the match was incredible. This was one of the best matches of the night. I think if you actually, yeah, it was one of the best matches of the night, and I see why I started it. Um, they all go to SmackDown. Bianca and Damage Control all go to SmackDown. But again, it was one of the best matches of the night. Bianca's power was kind of neutralized a little bit. Io Sky showed that she can do it without Damage Control, which was very important to push. She came out by herself, which was a very important thing because I didn't know if she was gonna come out with Damage Control or come out by herself. And she kind of controlled the night. She controlled this match very well, and I thought this was one of the best matches of the night. The crowd was very into it, and actually, they gave them the right amount of time, and they gave them a long time to do this match, and I love the fact that they did, because it fucking worked. I think Io Sky is over, which is very important to do because of how that match ended. Because if she didn't come out with the victory, the best part of it was that she got over. Even though she didn't win, she got over, and that is to push her without Damage Control. Can you make a star out of one of these women without the group? And Io Sky's the one. Um, like I said, the way the match ended, Damage Control comes out, tries to help Io Sky, and I think she was cool with it up until Bailey grabbed Bianca's hair and tried to hold her so she could hit the moonsault, and then the ref caught her and then screwed Io Sky over. And I think that's going to create the friction that we need. Now, I still don't know who's going to turn on who. I don't think Io Sky just 100% leaves Damage Control. I think Bailey kind of gets to the point where she's just like, you're trying to get bigger than the group, and she turns on her. I think Io Sky is going to become a face. I think people have always said Bailey's going to be the one that's going to turn face. I think Io Sky's going to turn face. I think she's the one. I think hearing the crowd tonight was very important to see how much they actually liked her and really fucked with her. Like I said, she got a big pop. She got a really good situation. And the match was a great fucking match. Io Sky should have never really had to come in with a group. She's a former NXT champion. She has been in the position of being a star before. She beat fucking Rhea Ripley and fucking Charlotte Flair to be the NXT fucking women's champion. Like, and I think it was the first time she won the title. Like, she beat Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair to win the fucking NXT championship, bro. Like, the girl could go in the ring. I don't know why people kept trying to, like, I don't understand it, but I think tonight was a very important night that she's now officially going to be the star, and she's going to be a face. And I think that on SmackDown we're going to see how fast, because Bianca was kind of bigging her up and telling her like, you shouldn't be in this group. Like, you have a chance to be a star, and I think we're going to finally see that come Friday night, because I think that's when the Damage Control is going to officially break up. Because Io Sky is going to be pissed off that she didn't beat Bianca, and I actually think Io should fight Bianca again on Friday Night SmackDown, like do the new draft, and I think that kind of go with the new draft, and I think she should beat her. And I don't say that a lot. I don't say that shit a lot, but I think Io Sky should beat Bianca at on SmackDown. And I know people say push it to Night of Champions and let Io beat her there, but I think you should do it on SmackDown. Let her beat her, and then her and Bailey go against each other or something at Night of Champions, and then have Bianca and her fight at Money in the Bank or some shit. Or yeah, you could probably wait till the Damage Control break up at Night of Champions, but I don't. I think you just need to rip the bandage. I think it's time. Fuck it. It's time. It's been time. It's gonna maybe you play it for another couple of weeks and then have a fight at Night of Champions for the title and beat Bianca there, and that's when the split happens. But I don't know. Have like a old, and WWE does like to go back in time, so have like the old Evolution where Randy Orton beat Chris Benoit and became World Heavyweight Champion, but Triple H could never beat Chris Benoit for the title. So when somebody new beats him and it's the person that you've been mentoring beats the person you could never beat, you turn on them. So I can see how that could work. I can definitely see how that would work. Um, but then you put kind of like Bianca in a bullshit situation where, well, she's always gonna be there, but it's kind of like, what do you do with her for the next couple months until they end that shit? So yeah, yeah. Uh, but the match of the night to me was, of course, what I thought it would be, and that's Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest, the San Juan street fight. It was exactly what I thought it would be. I actually thought this should have been a main event. You can't call it a double main event, but then yet this shit goes on before like it goes on two matches before the main event. I don't understand that shit. But anyway, but I get why you pushed. I just feel like Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar should have been earlier. This should have closed out the night. The excitement for it. There were more people that actually wanted to see this match more than they wanted to see the Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar match. Um, yeah. Man, the bumps Bad Bunny was taking in this fucking match. Yo, when this motherfucker Falcon arrowed his ass through a table, oh my god. I was like, yo, this motherfucker might be dead. Yeah, I was like, yo, this motherfucker might be dead. Um, this was what I expected. I expected Bad Bunny to come out, fight, do his thing, get the crowd into it. This was a hell of a match, man. You gotta give Bad Bunny his credit, for doing this, man. And Damian Priest, man, like, bruh, I'm dead serious right now. Damian Priest needs a run. He needs a title run. It sucks that now he's got to fight. He had to go through Gunther to get it, but this man needs a fucking title run. Like he deserves it, man. Like the match he put on tonight with Bad Bunny should have solidified that he will be a champion eventually, like soon. And that's why I felt like Judgment Day would have done so much better on SmackDown. It would have made sense because you can easily get the U.S. Championship and put it on Damian Priest, and it would make fucking sense. Um, I love the fact that they played into the Puerto Rico feel where it was like you have the Judgment Day come out and try to help Damian Priest, but then Ray comes out, and that really doesn't do anything. But then Carlito comes out, which is like if Carlito didn't come out, bro, at some point what the fuck was the point of having it in Puerto Rico? Like, what the fuck was the point? Oh, yeah, man, that was awesome. Just to see the crowd into this match. This was another one that they let go, and I think it was so damn good they did. Um, all in all, man, it was my match of the night. Bad Bunny won, which he should have. But the fact that that man put on a fucking match, man, by himself, which is very important because they don't really let celebs really do too much. But if you come back for the second time and you have a match like this, like even Logan Paul didn't have like this. Like he fought the Miz like I think like a regular old match, but this match was a street fight, and Bad Bunny went through hell on earth on his night to win, and he did it. Yeah, man. Uh, I'm 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 close to saying, and I don't like it, but I'm very close to saying, yo, by the time Royal Rumble roll around, wherever Royal Rumble gonna be, probably Miami or somewhere, I wouldn't mind seeing Bad Bunny fight for the Royal Heavyweight Championship. I'm not saying he has to win it, but if you gave Logan Paul the WWE Universal Title match, his third match, his second real solo match ever, why not Bad Bunny versus, let's say, Seth Rollins if he got the Royal Heavyweight Championship? And Seth really doesn't have a true contender for his title yet at WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind seeing Seth versus Bad Bunny for the title for the World Heavyweight Championship at Royal Rumble. I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there. So yeah, all in all, man, Backlash. Like I said, if I expected the matches I expected to be good was good. The matches I expected to be kind of shitty was shitty. Um, Next one up is Night of Champions, and that's May 27th, and I think that's gonna be early. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna be doing that rating review show next. Yeah, And I think, matter of fact, I think that might close out season 7 of this. So yeah, all in all, man, WWE Backlash was what I expected, and I'm very happy that the Puerto Rican crowd. By the way, I want to say this: I hope WWE does more events outside of the U.S. because that is these fans have been pondering over trying to get these matches and these big events, and we just saw it. We see it in Saudi Arabia sometimes, which is kind of up and down. Sometimes with the match cards, but the last 3 times they've wandered out of the country, the U.S. Clash of the Castle was a classic pay per view. Classic pay per view. Um, Elimination Chamber was incredible, and this tonight, I think the WWE needs to think about starting to put more pay per views. And by the way, London gets Money in the Bank, so I expect Money in the Bank to be just as exciting. So all in all, I think WWE needs to continue this trend of trying to branch the company out of the country because that's what actually is going to help them create more and more people to come back to WWE. Because if you're not getting a lot of love in the US, like you might not be, why not go and venture outside? Maybe go to Japan in the next couple of months to do a pay per view. Why not do a SummerSlam in Japan or a Survivor Series or a Royal Rumble? Something they got to go and do a big another not a major pay per view, but something you know. But yeah, King of the Ring. So yeah, I mean something like that. But yeah, all in all, man, Backlash was cool. It was a really cool pay per view. Yeah, and like I said, I'll see you guys at Night of Champions, which is May 27th. Until then, I'm Brandon Janeau. Peace.